another episode of Nivisha Chat Corner. So this week we're talking about money. Everything money, your relationship with money, what you think, how you feel about money. So please join us. Starts. So, when you think of money, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Okay.
Yani. Are you guys serious?
When I think of money,
When you think of money, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
of course, bills. Bills. Yeah.
Bills. What do you think?
Spending.
Spending.
Job.
Job.
Maintenance.
Maintenance. Oh, no, I like spending
I
and
know.
maintenance.
I know.
Yeah. So, growing up, were you taught about how to handle money, or did you have to figure it out by yourself as you grow up, or are you still figuring it out? Do you have an idea on what to do with money?
Specifically for my mom,
Mhm.
when I was growing up, she didn't encourage me to love money. Like, she told me to have a balance where I can be able to live without money and live with money, because there will be a time when you don't have money, and what will happen? Will you go steal, or will you go telling your friends or someone older than you that nipe pesa, you know, that kind of
Ali?
No, I did not have financial basics growing up. It's something that I am still figuring out on my own. And as a result, I have made quite a number of financial mistakes in the past 4 years.
Yeah.
And I have made an equal number of budget plans.
Interesting. Hila?
For me, I don't really think that you're actually taught like about money. Yeah, I've seen other families, the way you are raising their kids, or you have to open a savings account, something like that. Our place, we used to do that, but it was just saving for a short-term thing. Maybe there's this thing that you really want. So my mom used to tell us, just save up to this amount, then I'll top up. So that's one of the basics I saw about money and saving. Yeah. So another thing that I learned is just how I used to see how my dad transacting, going to a shop, planning, and all those things. So that's how I learned about money. Yeah.
I wasn't taught about money at all. I'm still figuring this out.
Still figuring it out. And how's that going?
Horrible. Yeah, because I'm mostly a spendthrift. I don't know how to keep money. I just think of spending. You know,
It burns
immediately
your
I have
pockets.
it,
The moment you have it, it's like,
I
okay,
just
go,
want to
go,
use
go.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, because like for me, I remember being younger and we used to have those Jumbo Junior accounts, the piggy banks, and you'd like put in coins and put
The
in
cool
money.
kids of those times. Yeah.
I know.
It's true.
Yeah, and then once a year they'd have this fun day, and then you go and jump in the bouncing castles and eat.
We were
and have
hearing
ice cream.
of those news.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
just
you
flash
couldn't
money
open it
balls.
yourself. You had to take it to the bank for them to open it, to take out the money, and then put it in your account. But I remember I got really creative. I used to use it like a safety pin and turn the bank over and try to pull out the notes.
Actually know how to remove money from there. It's just
to get money because you could not open it. So that's my first memory when I think about money. And in terms of my relationship with money, I think growing up I was taught to save. Saving was a priority because we'd go to the supermarket and you'd want something and my mom would be like, no, next time. And then it'd be like, next time. And you're like, Kwemi, next time,
Really like that.
next time, yeah. But I think growing up, I was taught that money, you should save it, but at the same time, I was taught to give it.
Okay.
The more you give, the more you receive. That's another aspect of money that I saw and I was taught growing up. So, in your 20s, yeah, figuring life out, figuring this money thing out.
Yeah.
On a scale of 0 to 10, how important is it for you to have?
money.
Let's be realistic and let's be honest. We live in a capitalistic world. We need money to function. But on a scale of 0 to 10, how important is it to you?
I'd go for 7.
7.
Cool.
Guys?
Sorry.
It's fine. because I'm still trying. I'm in the verge. Okay, yeah, I am trying to have a life of my own.
Yeah.
I'm in the verge of coming out of my parents' house and starting my own life, and I don't want to burden my parents by asking them to give me some money and all that. Yeah, so that will make me hustle hard and work smart to get my own money and maintain my own self.
I think for me it's an 8 again, also because I'm trying to achieve independence, financial independence in rather. But then I'm also trying to set a certain financial base where I can live at worst case scenario.
So you're living below your means.
Yes.
Okay.
Mine is an 8. But yeah.
8, yeah.
Because all of us, we're just trying to figure out our lives, right? And also you're also trying to keep up with your friends, and basically that's it. Yeah?
Keeping up
Yeah?
With your fellow friends, do you think it will put more pressure on you to go leftwards?
Not really. I think that's a good, like, somewhere to start from. If you see someone has achieved it, it means it's achievable at that age. So
Then it's specific
then you,
friends.
specific.
Yeah.
Not everyone. You just
Not
don't
friends
follow.
popping bottles and spending thousands.
Yeah, now, like, maybe if you hear that your friend is maybe our age and he's making money through drugs, now you don't follow that. You don't try to make money through drugs. You do something else. Maybe if it's selling books, doing any business that you can, to make money as him. That will be like a plus to you, maybe.
Clean money.
Yeah.
A 7 as well. Same reason as Husna and Ali.
Yeah.
I also want to gain independence from my parents.
Okay. So, what bad decisions have you made with money so far? I think Ali has a very interesting story. So we'll start there. So what bad decisions have you made with money?
Let's walk back to 2015. So before I joined campus, I had the privilege of getting a decent job, and I made an amount of money, quite comfortable amount of money then. But then I did not have a plan, so I was quite spendthrift. And after I joined campus, that's when financial reality dawned on me that actually people have bills they pay, and you have to plan for them in future.
Yeah.
And the first semester of my campus was so hard because I hadn't planned as well, and I had expectations towards my parents and other sources of income, and it didn't pan out as well.
Yeah.
So first semester of campus, financial hell. But then I'm thankful because that time also taught me, not in the most desirable ways, how to start looking out for myself and planning on my expenditures and everything.
So it was a wake-up call.
It was a tough one.
Yeah. I think that's a diplomatic answer. I wanted to hear him popping bottles, going clubbing every night.
Actually, I tend to think, most people say that popping bottles is the fastest way to burn cash. I disagree. I feel like there are other activities you can engage in when you're sober that can burn cash way faster.
Like what?
Going out for meals can be more expensive than popping bottles.
Especially if you're a foodie.
That is very true.
Because again, there's the economic dynamic of popping bottles. When you go out with friends, there's contribution, and depending on what you drink, there's a certain cap. Unless you're drinking, really expensive wine.
It's not too crazy.
Going out for movies and eating out irresponsibly could actually be more expensive than drinking every Friday. And that's, I think, a misconception that most of us have. But if you do the math, trust me, it could be more.
But I think in some way we also just go out for any reasons. We just go out. We don't have like a specific reason. Why are you celebrating?
Because I'm alive.
No, that's I don't think that's a valid reason if If you're looking at your finances, maybe you've worked hard. Because I've seen people from Django, they have worked hard, struggled, and then they drink all the money, not invest in anything. So it's quite, if you got like free cash or someone invited you, that way I can just go out. But if it's me, I've made my cash, I'll not just go out for any reason. Just to drink, no, not for any reason. I'll just have to like plan, okay, now I've made a lot of cash in this month, okay, now I can celebrate. Yeah, for myself, because I usually take care of myself. Yeah. So the concept of going out is you just go out with a reason. If it's you spending the cash, you just have a reason to go out there.
For me, it's the being spendthrift. But like I have my parents to support me, so I haven't really had a
Responsibilities.
moment. Yeah. I still have them.
Your wants are your
Very lucky.
responsibility. Yeah. So what do you spend your money on majority? Is it going out? Is it clothes?
Clothes, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And going out sometimes.
Okay.
Now I find that I fall into the trap also of like Instagram businesses. It's like I'm scrolling and then I see an abaya, I'm like, ooh. Then they catch you because you ask how much is this? They're like, oh, I have one left. And
Then you're like, you have to get it immediately. Yeah?
I'm like, it's one left. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll get it. But alright, so what experiences did you have, especially in campus? You're in campus, we've gone through campus. What experiences did you have that actually signified how important managing your money is for you?
Okay, maybe I can start. Yeah, so I after just not really after campus, but when I was like in second year, just to get this money because I draw, I paint. Yeah, I used to get a lot of money from people. So one time someone just asked me for a loan, and it wasn't really a small amount. Or like, can you help me with my rent because my money is stuck somewhere? I'll give it back to you once I get my money back. Yeah. So I actually went to the bank, withdrew, and gave it out. Then also did it the second time. I can't give the amount. It was like 30. Then I added 10. Yeah. So like now, when you have a lot of money, you usually don't check of what is going out. Yeah. Yeah. You're just like, I still have something left. Yeah. So I gave her the cash, and now when I was now broke, I went back. I'm just like, hey, can I get the cash back? It was actually a relative, and that's when I learned that you should not even try to lend a relative. If you're giving someone cash, just forget about it. Because when I went back, she was like, right now I'm still going through issues. I have a challenge with this and this. Can't you see that I'm really struggling in some way? And now that if you're younger than the person, then you just have to say, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, and now it's okay became a problem to me because now the next semester when I was supposed to go to school, I didn't have even the time to go. So you thinking of traveling, your food and all those things, so you have also now to try and prioritize things. And yet if you had your cash, you'd be just comfortable and doing things like as usual. So it was really a wake-up call for me on giving out cash to people, like lending someone money. I'm not a lending firm, so I'll not lend you cash. I'll just be like, if I give it, like most of my friends, that's how I work with them. If I give you some cash, I don't expect it back. Yeah, because they'll just disappoint you. You have your expectation.
So you lend someone something you're willing to give.
Yeah, something that,
so
if they don't
pay you back,
yeah,
you're fine.
Them, yeah.
Oh.
That's how I do it.
Okay.
But it's good manners to give it back.
It's actually something that people don't. It's a manners that people need to be taught.
I've had experiences with relatives, and I feel like there is a line between having relations, friendships, blood relations or otherwise, and money, and sometimes you just have to draw it quite clear. And I learned that because I've lost also quite some amount of money to friends and relatives on the basis of, sympathy and such. But for me, what was the wake up call was at this time when I ate my fee again.
You've done everything.
I hit up my dad. I'm like, Daddy, we have exams coming up, and I have this amount that I owe. Dad is like, actually, I thought you had a job. I thought you had money. I'm like, I did, but oh yeah. So suit yourself, man.
What?
Wow.
I know. And at that point, you feel like, damn, this man, aren't you supposed to?
Yeah.
Help me.
So I had to figure out my means. I had a few friends in the administration and leaders, so at that time I couldn't make money actively. So I talked them through and found ways to complete my academic obligations, did my exams and all that, and then started looking for alternative revenue streams.
Yeah.
That's when I started writing.
Okay.
I used to write creatively, but then I decided to diversify to academic and article writing, and I've been doing that for the longest time since. But then again, after a while, I also learned that diversifying your revenue streams doesn't solve your money problems if you didn't plan before.
Yeah.
It simply gives you an opportunity to mismanage more money.
More money, more problems.
Like
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
although I'm happy that such incidences weren't as bad as first year.
But still, I'm glad it taught you something, right?
Yeah,
Somewhere.
your
You
dad.
began writing. That's a good thing, yeah?
But his
did.
dad taught you a lesson. I'm
At
glad
that
he didn't
point,
bail
it did
you
not
out.
feel like that.
Yeah, but I'm glad
Parents
he
should
did
do
not.
that.
I feel like that
Because if
was
he had bailed you out, you would have done it again. Because you know
Yeah.
he'll sort you out.
for sure.
Yeah.
You learned your
I
lesson,
did.
then you had to prioritize. Just what defining moment?
Personally, throughout my campus life, it's actually the vice versa of it. I've been made I've been conditioned to use money wisely. I could be given 1,000 for the whole week, and at times maybe I have Saturday classes, but that's the day I'll ask for more money. But that 1,000, I'll use it for the entire week.
Transport and everything.
Yeah.
So, that is good.
Yeah.
I haven't had a defining moment
You haven't
yet.
had a defining moment.
Yes.
At least you're learning now.
Yeah, I'm learning.
Yeah.
That's good.
And like, just to piggyback off what Ali said, he learned how to write and he had to capitalize on that because he needed money, needed ways to make money. What other ways have you discovered that you're making money or had to go to make money? Something that you hadn't considered before.
I used to work on commission. Like an auntie of mine can give me an array of products made from natural stuff. Then at the sell, then the commission that me. Yeah, the same as my mom.
Yeah.
I advertise for her the clothes she sells. Then I get the commission.
So, at least for me, I'm glad to say Corona has helped me in some way. Actually, didn't know that I could do digital art. Yeah, so when Corona began, now organizations are just telling you stay at home and all those things, but you're not really sure if they are going to pay. So I just decided, okay, let me try. Let me go to YouTube, and I watched a few people. Now I developed interest in doing it. Then started asking my friend, can I do a portrait of you? This is the only amount I'm charging and all those stuff. So I actually learned that I could also make money through that. Yeah. Yes, I've gotten like so many clients who are interested, but progressing. So still doing.
Keep going.
Yeah, thank you.
I haven't had any.
You haven't had any. Don't worry, you have time. You have a lot of time.
Yeah.
For me, I think I've done all kinds of crazy things. I remember in campus, I started a business where I'd print t-shirts, graphic t-shirts, so you could give us whatever design you wanted. We had an Instagram page, me and a friend of mine, and we'd print t-shirts. Then we just found somewhere to buy really cheap shirts and someone to print for us. So literally, I was the middleman. On campus, you just come to me, I was like, yeah, we can do
Broke.
it. then I'd go and buy the shirt, and then take it to the guys to print it, then bring it back to you. I'm like, yeah, we worked on it. Here's your thing. That's what I used to do. There's a time where I started making beads and like jewelry from like beads and stuff. So I'd go. I remember my cousin took me to Sydney to Kariako or something.
Yeah, the market.
And I got beads, I got wires, I got conned first of all.
It happens the first time.
I got all that stuff and I'd make jewelry and sell it to my mom's friends, to my aunties, to my cousins, like everybody I knew. I was like, yo, I can customize something for you. I'll make that for you. What else have I done? I've done weird things, honestly. And then I started baking. Yeah, and I like sell. Even till now, I go to work and I take quick orders. I'm like, yes, I can attest.
I also do this.
I'm like, yeah, I bake. I can make you cakes. I can make you this. Because I think it's important for us to learn how to be self-sufficient. It doesn't matter how comfortable you are in your situation, you never know what tomorrow holds. So you need to develop your skills that if everything else fails, you can still find a way to make some money for yourself. Yeah. So, did you learn anything about money in school? Anything related to financial literacy?
No.
Nobody.
Those are things that you're not taught.
We were taught actually.
You're taught,
Yeah.
In my first year, there's a class called SUS. Like it was a fresher class.
Yeah.
Where we
The
could-
common units.
common units.
Yeah.
Yes. So we were taught how to manage money, like how to do away with the bad habits associated with monetary stuff, and how to save your money. Then the common principles surrounding money.
The rules.
I went to business school, so that was.
So you had to.
You had to.
Yeah.
Oh,
Had to. Have you had any formal training when it comes to money?
Not a formal training, but I've actually read books
So self-taught.
and watched videos.
Yeah.
That's it.
Were you taught anything?
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. I think that's the same with me. I didn't come across it like in school, in class or anything.
not.
It was YouTube, honestly. It was TED Talks. It was YouTubers who did like budgeting, financial literacy and things like that. But I think that's an aspect where our education system fails us, where we don't learn about financial literacy. But we also have to take responsibility, because when you get to a certain point, you have to be accountable. So what are you doing about it?
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't teach you, but what are you doing now in relation to that? Okay. So, what's the most extreme thing you've done, to save some money? Everybody's done something crazy to save money. What have you done to save money? Not to make sure it does not go out of your pocket. What have you done?
Go out of my pocket.
Yeah. What is the extreme things you've done to make sure you do not spend this money?
Okay. Honestly, I don't have such a thing as what is the extreme that you've done, because I love dashing out money.
Yeah.
I love spending. And, like if you come to me and Husna, I have this problem, I won't hesitate but to give you. So I don't know about spending.
That's
I don't know
extreme way
about
of
saving money and
Mimi nitaanza kuangalia shida zangu kwa Husna.
comes in.
We're just taking notes, Taking notes.
Ali.
Me, I think it's readjusting expenses major. So, first things first, I moved to Mtumba entirely. I had to learn how to shop in Gikomba, who to shop from, what's the selling price of almost everything that I wear, and what time can I get it the cheapest. And honestly, for the past 4 years, I have bought almost everything from Gikomba. And I realized that it makes a huge financial difference. Like getting good quality pants at 200, getting a Levi's belt at 300 that lasts you for actually 5 years. And at some point, I even started monetizing that. So I'd go to Gikomba, I'd see something that's really nice, but then it doesn't necessarily fit me. So I'd buy it, go sell it to someone, and even make money.
Some money
on
off
top
it.
of
Yeah.
Another thing I learned is how to eat healthy, but eat very cheaply, depending on where you buy things. So I helped a friend of mine set up a juice business back in campus, and that's when we realized that you can access food at really cheap rates in Nairobi. We started going to Muduru to buy fruits, and we realized that the avocado you pay 30 bob for, you can get it at 4 bob. The banana you pay 5 bob for, it's actually 2 bob at retail, depending on where you go and what time. And knowing where to buy like such things made a world of difference. I don't do juice business right now, but then since I changed where I shop for groceries, like those, it cuts my expenses. 3, commute. I feel like commute is one of the really big expenses in Nairobi.
Yeah.
So knowing what matatu routes to use and what time, again, makes a huge difference. Simple example. When you're going to the junction, if you take a matatu at Kencom, it's 60 bob. If you walk 3 minutes down at railways and take a mat going to Ngong, it's actually 30 bob. That's a 50% difference.
Yeah.
Shit.
And those
Same
are some of the
direction.
ways I learned how to keep money to myself.
I learned something.
Mine is quite simple, but maybe you guys can take it. Yeah, so I usually see youths trying to have designer clothes, or this jeans is Gucci and all those stuff. And I kind of realized that people don't even know what you're wearing. They don't know if it's Gucci or anything. So yeah, so there's this time I wanted to actually buy a Gucci shirt, which was really expensive. A t-shirt at maybe $175, that's maybe 17k plus.
Yeah.
And then my C's hit me like, if you're going to spend 17,000 on that t-shirt, you better wear it for a week, every day, wake up and wear it. So for me, from that experience, I usually don't buy, I limit myself to buying a few brands. Yeah, because I realize a shoe, you can just wear a shoe. It doesn't, as long as it looks good on me, you can just buy it. I don't need to know if it's Nike, if it's Adidas and all those. Yes, I'm obsessed with those brands, but I'm giving myself time, you know. The problem with us is that we usually want to keep up with the trends, and if you try to keep up with the trends, you'll be a thief.
Instant gratification.
Yeah, so for me, I just tell myself I'll wear them in future. So I limit myself to just basic and also the combat stuff. They usually just find somewhere where something is sold at a low price. You'll help yourself. You'll just help yourself.
You can
so much.
actually get designers.
Yeah, they're there. Yeah, they're there. So that's it.
I haven't had an extreme moment either, just like this now, also
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you just spend.
They're too loud.
but I'm learning.
Yeah.
The needs too loud.
No, I used to be a spender. Well, I am still a spender. But I learned to save when I was in uni. I had to figure it out because I learned very quickly that my taste is too expensive for me to sustain it. I had to humble myself, and I remember I went to the extreme point where I changed my money into a different currency, so I can't spend it. Because if I have it like in just normal currency, I'll just carry it, go buy something. So I'd change it into a different currency and put it in a book, and I'd forget where the book is for like months. Then randomly I'll remember, then go find it. But I will make sure it's in a different currency where I have to think about, I have to go change it, then go here. I'm like, I can't.
Not today.
Yeah,
It's
not
quite
today.
fun.
Then I leave it. And I remember in campus I had a goal. In the 1 year where I became woke about money. And I was like, by the end of this year, I need to save this much. So I put myself in a budget. And sometimes the budget did not work and I had to eat noodles for a while. But I made sure I stuck to my budget. And by the end of the year, I had saved so much, I was even like, I surprised myself. Even my mom was like, where did you get so much money from? And I'm like, well, I ate noodles. My mom, she was like, tunakutumia pesa wewe badala
Unajua.
unakula noodles. And I remember I'd come home to Kenya for the holidays, and my grandma would give me like maize and beans and rice. Now all gang, that's half my shopping.
Dude,
done.
that-
When I go back,
There's
I
no
have
spending.
it's just meat and veggies, fresh veggies.
Yeah.
I was sorted. I'm like, I'm good. I can do this. Noodles and
No,
eggs.
no noodles at all.
Never got arrested by airport security.
I got stopped once because I had frozen sausages.
That is what I was looking for.
Yeah, and once my mangoes were taken, I was very salty. You know, my grandma's mangoes, but yeah. No, I think we
You've
all
eaten
just
them
have to
there.
learn.
You just
We
took
should
them.
have, yeah. We all have to learn just to find ways to sustain ourselves. And now, as I've grown up and I have access to a bit more than I did when I was on campus, I'm still very cautious about how I do it. So I give myself targets. I'm like, okay, if I save this much, then I can treat myself to that really nice thing I wanted. And if I do this, and then I've learned to prioritize where it's quality over quantity.
Yeah.
I'd rather get a really nice pair of shoes that is genuine leather. If something happens, I can take to the cobbler to fix it, than to buy something for 3K, then another 2K, then another 3K, and then it just eventually deteriorates. So that's ways where I have learned. And then also, I also have a weakness for designers.
I know.
Not
I
all the
actually
time,
knew.
but
When I was
sometimes.
saying it, earlier.
So what I do is like I take a longer period and I just save for it, and I'm like, it's for a milestone. So maybe for my birthday, I get myself that really nice expensive bag I like, or something like that. Then I have something to look forward to. And I try and make sure that what I'm buying, if ever I need to, even if I sell it, I can get some money back off it. So it's not like something that's trendy or weird, it's something I can invest in. Like for example, I don't buy, when it comes to jewelry, I don't buy like just any kind of earrings or something. I'd rather save a bit longer and buy actual gold jewelry so that I know it will not lose its value than to buy earrings, Jamia Mo for 1,000 bob.
But you can't
Then
even resell.
when they fade or something, then I've lost my money. So I try and make sure where my money goes, it's not an asset that's depreciating in any sense. And then once a year, I'm like, okay, girl, buy hata kama ni stocks kidogo tu kidogo tu to make myself feel better about it. Yeah.
Piga wili pole. Piga wili pole.
Okay, so I think tumezunguka around the topic of money, but now we need to talk about money and relationships. Yeah. So we have the girl child and the boy child. What expectations do you have in relations to money when you come into a relationship? As a lady, are you trying to find a man who can provide for you and cater to you? Or are you like this?
I was just trying
And
to
as a
readjust myself.
man, is it a priority for you when you go into a relationship to provide for your lady? Or do you think it's a 50-50 thing? On your first date, who pays? Are you fine paying? Are you fine if she pays? Would you rather split the bill? Are you fine with splitting the bill? How does it work?
First date. First date for me, it's me paying.
Uh-huh.
Really now? But it depends.
Yeah.
It depends. For me, how I usually put it, if who has like said, okay, I want us to meet. Now the person who has come up with the idea, maybe it would have been really nice if you finance it. Okay, so my first date I pay, but it depends on the other dates. Depends. Yeah.
I think I'm open-minded. I have had first dates where I've paid for everything. I've had first dates split bills, and I've had first dates catered for. The background of the date has varied. There's some people that I asked them out entirely, and I had to go the full range, pursue someone and all those shenanigans. And there are some dates where it's more friendship and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like I let's meet up because it's been a while. And it's just a split bill.
Yeah.
And there are some days where someone either wants you to go to a place where it's not necessarily your cup of tea financially, or they really want your company and they want you to be there, so they
Yeah,
choose to pay.
yeah.
And I'm open for actually appropriate.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
You know the question.
Okay, according to Maslow hierarchy, I mean security.
What? Don't you pull that
She's
line?
turning to science.
Don't you pull that line?
That line doesn't work for everyone.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of our basic needs. Like it's a reflex for anyone, for everyone to go where there's security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't
So-
pay your dates. Maybe.
Actually, you don't pay.
When we are like, it's a girl's date, we can chip in. But when I'm being invited for a first date with a guy, I think culturally or
You expect him to
yeah,
know.
he should pay.
And if he asks you to split the bill, what do you do?
That's a turn off.
Oh,
But will you
For my
split it
first-
and then block him and never talk to him again?
she can. I don't.
Yeah,
Do that.
I can add, I can chip in,
Yeah.
but it will be a turn off. Personally, like that is my viewpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd mind paying for
Yeah.
splitting the bill.
For a first date.
Yeah.
You're the girls you want.
I see this is-
In some way. Yeah, because like you know, for me, I usually feel embarrassed, like for the first date, for someone to pay for me, or even for just random dates, to see a waiter come and then they give out the bill, then you even wonder, oh, should I slide it to her?
Yeah.
Should I
Slide it to
like
her.
like? I'm like, no, even if I
Nice
don't, even
dates.
if I don't have, I'll just have to
to figure it out.
figure it out. Yeah.
Can't believe it.
But also some dates are just there to mess you up, because if you went on a date with someone that you know, you just know that maybe
You know what
Husna
they
in some
can
way
afford,
they
yeah.
they really appreciate when you pay for them.
Yeah.
So when you don't have money, you should avoid asking for dates with. Yeah, with Husna. Yeah, but for me, I can accept someone to pay for me,
Yeah.
but I usually feel a bit my masculinity a bit
Yeah.
pricked.
Is it masculinity? Is it toxic masculinity? Which is it?
I feel like this is how I look at it. If we go out and you pay for a date, that's a mental note for me to pay for the next date by default.
By default.
No, like think of it this way. You have your financial obligations, and I have my. Fact that you're willing to go a step further to make me feel comfortable. I am willing to do that too. There is that. Like you get same way how when you're with friends, if a friend caters for the bill, I'd feel that I actually want to cover the next one.
Like obligated. Next one.
You know, I don't know what extent you went to, and
Yeah.
like, thank you for covering me. I have you this time.
Got you.
But I think this whole concept of who caters for the bill, it's like if you ask a girl out on a first date, take her where you can afford to take her.
True.
No, have money.
Yeah, have money.
That's it. Because you can take someone out
there's
literally
different
and they
levels.
decide, yeah, you can afford the place. You can afford the place. But what if they decide to eat like everything?
I
The
know.
way you girls do. Ice cream. There's this. Your budget is just 500. And then sometimes you just save yourself some embarrassment or something, because a girl like you, most of the time, if I invite you somewhere, you might choose to come with Husna. Yeah. So if you do that, what do I do?
Tag
Do I
team.
run?
Yeah, have me, Zahra, and Husna.
I think
When you come for a date and you budgeted for one person.
But
I think we have to talk about the objective of the first date, which is as simple as getting to know someone. None of you knows each other enough to invest anything yet. Might turn out to be a friendship, might turn out to be a relationship, might turn out to end right there and then. So I usually feel like an easy first date is a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. Let's talk, and if this makes sense, then let's upgrade it to a meal, and then we can upgrade it to a dessert.
Yeah.
And the times that I've planned for a date, I usually factor that in. Okay, so we're meeting at Java. Java ceiling for a cup of coffee is this. For meal, it's this. So if in case of any of this scenario happens, I need to have at least this amount of money just to make sure I don't peel potatoes somewhere. But then again, for that to happen, there has to be a certain level of maturity. If you're going out on a date with someone, I think it's 2 people, not 3 or 4 or whatever number you want to add.
Go with the committee.
And I feel like for me that's an issue.
Go with the committee.
If I ask you out and I see you with Zara, like, oh, okay, so hi,
She's sitting with us.
who are you? Why are you here?
Oh,
I wouldn't ask that, of course.
Yeah.
But then,
Yeah.
I
then
was shocked.
Your
that
mind,
question-
your mind.
my mind is like, okay, so
yeah, what's happening?
unwelcome third party.
Yeah.
Let me chip in a bit. I think it's good manners for that lady to inform you first that
Yeah, I'm coming with
another
someone.
Plus
third
one.
party,
plus two.
coming, so that we should prepare.
Yeah.
But then again, that also depends on the objective of the thing. Are we trying to know each other to,
Okay.
go somewhere? And some people would say that they feel more secure with someone, which makes a lot of sense. But then again, we should fact, if you don't feel secure enough to meet me alone, maybe you shouldn't meet me because
What's the
What's the point then?
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
the point?
exactly because it doesn't make
feel you,
sense.
I feel like meeting up with someone, it also depends on so many things. Like it depends on the level of your relationship. Because if you're my girlfriend, you already know what I earn.
No, you're
And
getting to know. It's a first date.
It's a first date.
Yeah, you really like this girl and you ask her out.
Then it also depends on just the does she know what you do? You have to factor in that, hey, this guy, you're actually earning the same amount, so I don't need to tell him to take me to some expensive place because, of course, I'll be harassing him in some way.
Kidogo.
Yeah.
Do they tell you where they want to go, or it's you?
They can
technically, I
suggest
love
because
a-
men usually, like I can't generalize it, but men usually don't have places in mind
That's
on
why
all those
you
things.
should put in some effort. If you're asking this girl out, ask her what she likes, what she's interested in, what kind of cuisine she'd like. Then do your research. Let's Google, find a place, look at the menu beforehand and figure out the price range and see if you can afford it. So that when you get there, you're not confused.
Still, goes back
not
to what I
wrong.
was saying. You can reach there, yes, you had planned, you have your 2,500 because you guys are having coffee. If it goes extreme, it can't be more than 2,500. But the girl decides, oh, I don't feel like having coffee, maybe strawberry lemonade with some cake. Then I'm like, I don't like this cake. Can I order something else? I'm like, okay, let me have that. Oh, I didn't have lunch. Okay, let me buy fries. Like, I've gone out with people, so I kind of know how people behave. Yeah.
Okay.
It just depends.
I've gone to quite reasonable dates as compared to my to my fellow men.
I'm also hearing this for the first time. I did not know I had an option to be like, I don't like this cake, let me order another one, let me
It should happen
add
to
another
one.
meal.
It should happen to
Sounds
you.
controlling.
Not really. Like there's some people who maybe I chose this and I don't like it. It's quite reasonable for her to say that I don't like it, but in some way it's not understanding for her to say it.
Yeah, but it's polite to say then I don't like this, I'll order something else and I'll pay for it.
Okay.
Because you're already paying for the thing she didn't like. But anyways, dating etiquette is besides the point. We're talking about finances.
Like this
So are you okay splitting the bill?
In the first date,
No.
because I don't expect me to tell him, yo, let's go for a date. It's him to ask me for a date, and before asking me for a date, he knows he knows what he'll do and what he has planned ahead for us.
So you go with his plan.
Yeah.
He will
I think it's sexy
dictate.
for him to control everything.
So money.
Okay.
Sex
Alright.
is money.
Let us segue before we have to go on a break. Sarah, are you
Would
fine
I-
splitting the bill?
I would expect him to pay, but I'd have something just in case.
Yeah, you always have to carry some money
Yeah,
just in case.
true.
But if you did split the bill, would you still continue talking to him?
I would.
You would.
I would.
Would you?
Would you?
Would I?
By the way,
Yeah.
What do you mean by the way?
You're throwing them to us that you don't say.
Yeah, questions. I am the neutral party here.
Okay.
No, you have to say this.
You have to
with
say
you.
something. Yeah?
Ideally, I would appreciate if the man paid for the first date. Because you have to show me your interests and your type of commitment. You can't ask me out and then expect me to pay. And I feel like it sets a precedent for the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're not trying to impress me in the first date, when are you ever going to try to impress me?
But also it depends on the intention of your date or the thing that you guys want to form.
Yeah, but if someone is pursuing you with the hopes of a relationship,
Then first date, pay.
yeah, then just pay
Just
for
have
the
money.
first
Make
date.
sure you have
Be a
money when you
gentleman
ask
and
for
pay.
it.
Third, maybe the fifth one, I'll chip in. But
Yeah.
the first trimester,
We're in a
The
relationship.
first trimester.
First trimester. No, ideally, because it's not like I want to go to Kempinski for a first date. We can, like Ali said, we can go to Java and have a coffee. Are you trying to tell me you could not save up for the coffee before you asked me out? Doesn't make sense. It's not like you woke up yesterday and decided let's go out today. So yeah.
something premeditated.
Yeah, that shows that a man has put in effort and time and is actually pursuing you. Si aliamka tu akaona ule msichana acha nimpigie leo twende.
But
I have no money but twende.
like for me, it's a bit easy because I don't ask anyone for a date if I don't have money. Because even if she agrees or you guys you're in a relationship and someone is like, okay, I can also pay, I can't ask you out when I'm not really good financially.
Yeah.
I just avoid. Yeah.
I think that's financially prudent too.
Yeah.
So you've dated, you've gotten to know each other, and you're now in a relationship. And then your girlfriend asks you for some money. How do you feel about that? How do you approach that?
It's a bit. It's not really tricky. It's like if she asks me for cash, I'll definitely ask, okay, what do you want to do with it? Then she'll be like, okay, I want to make my hair and all those things. Then say we are dating, right? And we're like, okay, do you really need to, like, is it a priority right now? You know, it depends with what you guys have been planning to do, and also the activities that you have had before that and the ones that you're having.
After.
Yeah, because maybe today she wants this, and you know that tomorrow is a birthday. You'll just say,
That's what she needs to do her hair.
yeah, you're like, okay, because it depends with the priority. Maybe you've already smashed your account to just get her the dress that she always wants, and then she comes like, I need to make my hair. So yeah, it depends with also you just need to prioritize. So if she asks me for money and we're like, okay, so what do you want to do with it? And most of the time I usually give if it's in something that she wants to invest in. Maybe I want to do my hair so that I'm going for a shoot. All those things, yeah. So I'll support. It will be just like a support, not just boyfriend, girlfriend giving out cash.
But you're
Just
comfortable if your girlfriend asks you for money.
Yeah, there's not.
There's
I
no
feel
problem
good
with that.
if you ask
You
me
feel
for
good?
cash. Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Let's make me happy.
Spark.
Niambie.
I think a financial relationship grows inside the relationship. And it takes a couple of months before you're financially comfortable with someone.
True.
So what would I do if my girlfriend asks me for money? Why do you need it? Is it a priority? Yes. Do I have it myself? Yes. Is it like extra beyond my priority? Sure. It's okay, you can have it. Do I not have it? Babe, I'm really sorry. Right now, that doesn't make financial sense from this kind of relationship. Do you mind doing this later, a week later?
But you have no problem with your girlfriend asking you for money.
Yeah.
Depends on the stage of the relationship.
Zahra, would you ask your partner for money? You're not married.
Yeah.
Would you ask for money?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't. Why would you not?
I don't think it's a problem.
So I think we're gonna stop there for today, but we'll revisit this money conversation because I think there's a lot of aspects we haven't gone into.
Yeah.
Not even just with the relationships, just money in general. I think financial literacy is very important, and we need to expound on it a bit more because I think a lot of problems in our society come from mismanagement of money and finances and not having open communication when it comes to money. So thank you guys for contributing. Show us so much. Najua when you want to split bills, when you want to lipa full, we know who to avoid.
You know what to avoid?
To avoid on the first date.
To avoid.
To avoid on the first date.
There's always have to be the first date. So.
Yeah. So thank you guys for coming and for contributing to this conversation. And thank you too for watching. Do let us know what you think. And don't forget to social distance, wear your masks and sanitize. Mask it up.